this day is going to end.
And I'm telling you,
can't no one know at sunset if the next day will begin.
well, I'm telling you,
Can't no one know at sunrise how this day is going to end.
and I'm telling you,
Can't no one know at sunset if the next day will begin.
well,
In this world of trouble and woe, a person had better be ready to go.
well, we
Look for things to stay the same, but in the twinkling of an eye, everything can be changed.
well, I'm telling you,
Can't no one know at sunrise how this day is going to end.
well, I'm telling you,
Can't no one know at sunset if the next day will begin.
well, I'm telling you,
Can't no one know at sunrise how this day is going to end.
well, I'm telling you,
Can't no one know at sunset if the next day will begin.
Whoa.
Troubles of the world fill our hearts with rage, from Soweto to Stonewall, Birmingham and LA.
you know
We're searching for hope that lies within ourselves as we fight against misogyny, race, hatred, and hate.
well, I'm telling you,
Can't no one know at sunrise how this day is going to end.
I'm telling you,
Can't no one know at sunset if the next day will begin.
well, I'm telling you,
Can't no one know at sunrise how this day is going to end.
and I'm telling you,
Can't no one know at sunset if the next day will begin.
I don't know about y'all. What about choir? Ordination mass choir. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready. I think it's time for a war cry.
picture now. It is so good to see all of you. It is good to hear all of you. It is good to feel the ground shaking under you, and the electricity in the air, and the love in this room, and all around. It is so good to be together. I'm the Reverend Sherry Halliday Kwan. I'm the lead minister here at First Unitarian, but it is my distinct honor to welcome you not only to this church, but to an event that brings together a whole lot of churches and a whole lot of people. It is my distinct privilege and honor to welcome you to the ordination of the Reverend Verdis LeVar Robinson. Whew, it has been a long time coming. It has been a long time coming. Reverend Verdis comes to us through General Elder Luther Robinson, his father, who joins us here today. Comes to us through a tradition of feeling the spirit, of training for ministry, of being with people in music and presence, through the tradition in which Verdis was raised and trained as a Holiness Pentecostal candidate. Reverend Verdis comes to us, to Unitarian Universalism, through the First Universalist Church of Rochester, our downtown siblings. Reverend Verdis comes to us through a service led by the Reverend Sally Hamlin, and the hands and hearts and opening of the church ladies who surrounded him that first day. Yeah. Reverend Verdis comes to us this day through the training of his internship. Well, and then you stayed, Verdis, with years of our siblings in Montpelier. And Reverend Verdis comes to us now as a minister of this church, of First Unitarian. And all of us gather today because Reverend Verdis has been presented for ordination by these congregations, but it is the people of these congregations that will ordain him into Unitarian Universalist ministry. So I hope you have felt the Spirit, but if not, if it hasn't caught you yet, I invite you to settle in, because it's gonna happen. All right, as is our tradition in Unitarian Universalism, we begin our time by lighting a chalice, and this will be offered, as so much of Reverend Verdis' ministry has been, with many voices, in creative ways, online by the Meadville Honey Badgers. I don't know what that means. I think I know, but I know that I don't truly. And the Robinson family, who will light our chalice here in the sanctuary.
I'm Reverend Ali Casey Bell. I'm coming to you from Cedar Lane UU Congregation in Bethesda, Maryland, on the ancestral lands of the Nacotchtank and Piscataway Conoy people, and on the land in which enslaved African people and their descendants labored and lived without choice or reward. And I am a Meadville Honey Badger.
My name is Phoenix Bell Shelton Biggs. I use they, them pronouns, and I am coming to you today from the Rappahannock and Potawatomi land, a land now known as Fredericksburg, Virginia, and I'm a Meadville Honey Badger.
I'm Joshua Berg, and I'm delighted to be with you from Burbank, California, the land of the Chumash, the Tongva, and the Quiche. And I am proudly a Meadville Honey Badger.
I'm Martha Bogner. I'm coming to you from Wawiatanong, as it's known in Anishinaabemowin, which through the languages of the Anishinaabe and of French and English colonizers has also become known as Detroit, Michigan. and I'm a Meadville honey badger.
My name is Megan Garvey. I come to you from the contemporary and ancestral land of the Seneca Nation, keepers of the Western Door and part of the Haudenosaunee people. This land is also currently known as Rochester, New York. And I am a Meadville honey badger.
I'm Reverend Megan Henry, and I am coming to you from Brooklyn, New York, land of the Lenape. And I am a Meadville honey badger.
I'm Michaela Hoffman. I am coming to you from Somerset, Massachusetts, the unceded land of the Pocasset Wampanoag, and I am a Meadville honey badger.
I'm Angeline C. Jackson. I'm coming to you from Yamé, known as Jamaica, and I am a Meadville honey badger.
I'm Reverend Julia Jones. I'm coming to you from the UU congregation of DeKalb, Illinois, ancestral home of the Sac and Fox and Potawatomi people. And I am a Meadville honey badger.
I'm the Reverend Monica Kling Garcia. I am coming to you from a hospital in Madison, Wisconsin, land of the Ho-Chunk people. And I am a Meadville honey badger.
My name is Reverend Beth Monholland, and I'm coming to you from Champaign, Illinois, which is the traditional hunting and homelands of the Illinois Confederation of Tribes. And I am a Meadville honey badger.
I am Vanessa T. Tang. I'm coming to you from Shippenville, Pennsylvania, on ancestral land of the Seneca. And I am a Meadville honey badger.
I am Chaplain Kim Warman. I'm coming to you from the lands of the Ho-Chunk, Anishinaabe, and the Potawatomi, a place often called Milwaukee. And I am a Meadville honey badger.
James Baldwin once said, "One discovers the light in the darkness. That is what darkness is for. But everything in our lives depends on how we bear the light. It is necessary while in darkness to know that there is a light somewhere, to know that in oneself waiting to be found, there is a light." We light our chalice as a symbol of the Unitarian Universalist faith, knowing that what the light reveals is danger, and what it demands is faith.
Good afternoon. What a joy it is to be at this ordination. I am Barbara DeLeo, she, her, an elder with brown skin, glasses, and rapidly gray hair pulled into a bun. I'm a member of First Unitarian Church, sibling to First Universalist Church of Rochester and UU of Canandaigua, all located on Seneca land. Welcome to our Unitarian Church from Montpelier, Vermont, our friends from Drum, and all the clergy and friends and family from far and wide. I am also a member of the Unitarian Universalist Association Board of Trustees, here to offer my congratulations to Verdis LeVar Robinson on his ordination into our growing denomination. Verdis and I have been loosely woven for almost 4 decades. Verdis was part of an urban-suburban transfer program into Brighton schools in the 1980s. I was faculty and Verdis was a student from kindergarten to 12th grade. He did very well. He comes from a resilient and embracing community. Fast forward 15 years, our paths crossed again on a walking tour. By this time, now Assistant Professor Robinson and his honors history students had conceived, produced, and were conducting Black history tours of Joseph Avenue near Verdis's old stomping grounds. Professor Robinson and his students were encouraging public dialogues about city transitions and solutions. I encouraged Verdis to check out First Universalist Church because his thinking and language was so congruent with our Unitarian Universalist beliefs. Fast forward several more years and other UUs connected with Verdis. He began conducting workshops downtown and started to attend First Universalist Church. The next thing I knew, Verdis was discerning his call in divinity school. And that all brings us together today. Congratulations, Reverend Verdis LeVar Robinson. So glad to be on the journey with you. I have a happy heart.
Hi, this is Reverend Michelle Yates.
I'm Kitty Forbush.
And I'm Tom Williams.
And we are from First Universalist. We are proud to be Verdis's home congregation since 2008. He was a member of the choir here, and we are his sponsoring congregation.
Good afternoon. My name is Jen Matthews. I'm part of the Unitarian Church in Montpelier, Vermont. I use she, her pronouns. I'd like to acknowledge that our congregation is situated on the traditional lands of the Western Abenaki. I'm part of the governing board here at UCM. Verdis, from the very first time I met you at a UU the Vote Honk and Wave, I saw you bringing your energy, your life experience, your passion, and your light to everything you do. On behalf of the UCM congregation, you're a gem, and good luck today. Keep shining your light.
My name is Sue Stuckey. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a member of the Unitarian Church here in Montpelier, Vermont. I was part of the search committee, which interviewed and then enthusiastically recommended Verdis as our intern minister. I've been very involved with Unitarian Universalism over the years, including time on the UA Board of Trustees, and I recognized Verdis as a deep, thoughtful, and delightful person who would bring us much spiritual depth, vision, and joy, and indeed he has. On behalf of the whole congregation, congratulations, Verdis.
Hello, Verdis, and to any congregation that welcomes Verdis into their community. My name is Joe Romano, and I had the pleasure of serving as chair of the ministerial internship committee to support Verdis during the time that he was with us, especially during the pandemic. He prepared and delivered very welcoming, inclusive worship and rituals. He had a group for life passages, very inspiring, very compelling, and very engaging, which our community really appreciated. He is completely aware of multi-generations approach to worship and of course, the awareness of multicultural environment that we have here. And all I could say is he also works really collaboratively with each one of us no matter who we were. And during the pandemic, he got to know people. He found a way to know people. And we supported him while he was doing training as well as working as an intern here. I can't say enough. And I am so proud of you, Verdis. And on behalf of the committee and on behalf of the church here at the Unitarian Church of Montpelier, I wish you only the best of luck and joy in the work ahead.
Greetings, friends. My name is Mark Hicks, and I am the Angus McLean Professor of Religious Education at Meadville Lombard Theological School in Chicago. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, the presidents, faculty, and students of Meadville Lombard, I bring you greetings on this happy occasion of the ordination of Verdis LeVar Robinson. It is with great pride that I come today to share these greetings, for he is a bright star among seminarians. Mr. Robinson has been a leader in the classroom, in student government, and our campus Vesper worship program, and he is cherished as a dear person in community life. I believe it was Frances Ellen Watkins Harper, a preeminent 20th century writer and activist for change, who once penned a checklist for an aspiring minister. Let's see how he does against this list. When she looked at pulpits across the country, she noted we needed more soul. To that point, I say check. She noted a need for a higher cultivation of all spiritual faculties. Check. She added that we needed more unselfishness, earnestness, and integrity. Check. Then she noted we needed men and women whose hearts are the homes of high and lofty enthusiasm and a noble devotion to the cause of emancipation. Again, check, check. And finally, Mrs. Harper said we needed someone who was ready and willing to share time, talent, and money on the altar of universal freedom. You are about to ordain someone who excels at Miss Harper's needs list, but exceeds her standards. Friends, please join me in rejoicing on this happy and grand occasion of the ordination of such a fine and worthy person. Congratulations.
Blessings from Drum, our wider Unitarian Universalist people of color community, and your colleagues in the UU Ministers Association. Welcome home, Verdis. You have journeyed far. You have moved around the world sharing your song far and wide, and we are so glad that you are here. When I first met you in person, you were leading us in worship with your voice, your rhythm, your presence, your care. You have inherited essential roles of ministry and service in our community, and we are grateful. Know that you are surrounded by a cloud of witnesses. Alandria Williams, Hope Johnson, Chester McCall, Bill Jones, Marjorie Bones Wheatley, and more beloveds. Your ordination honors their legacy. I love how you carry forward our ancestors' prayers and offer your gifts to the next generation. One beautiful thing about music is how transcendent it is across language, culture, time. Music sparks a powerful feeling of unity and a reminder of our shared humanity. May you continue to bring your transcendence into our Unitarian Universalist congregations and communities. We need you more than ever. I know your journey will continue to weave a beautiful symphony of light and love in our living tradition, and know that your colleagues in the UUMA and Drum are here to join the choir with you. We are here for you. Blessings on this wonderful and auspicious day.
My heart is so full today. I am so grateful to be here among all of you and with all of our friends and colleagues and siblings around the country and around the world who celebrate this faith together. Today is special, as every day is special, but this is extra special because today we get to talk about Verdis LeVar Robinson. No, we're not going to do that. But I understand that the tradition here is that who's ever offering the opening words tells a little story. So my story today is a little bit of only a minute of my own journey. When I was a little girl and I was sitting in our Catholic church, 6 siblings, my parents and aunts and uncles and cousins, half filling the whole place. I was about 7 or 8 and I looked up at the statue of Jesus in the chancel and I saw him speaking to me and I heard words from him. I was so confused. That's nothing I'd ever heard of before. And the words I heard were, "You're meant to do this work." Okay, so I'm 7. Holy crap. Even as a little older, I was looking for stigmata. I was one of those kind of nerdy kids. Like I really believed that if I would suffer and it would show, everybody would know what a good girl I was. So I went home and told my folks, guess what? I heard Jesus talk to me today. And Jesus said, I'm going to do what that priest is doing. And they looked at each other and smiled and said, oh, honey, that's so cute. But you can't be a priest. Only boys can be priests. But you could be a sister. I loved the nuns who taught me. I didn't know what to do with that because either I was wrong, I heard something, or God was wrong, and we know God is not wrong. So, okay, I didn't really know what to do with that. I put it away. I went on and had a great career in healthcare as a nurse and nurse practitioner and administrations and healthcare settings for nonprofits, community healthcare settings, research and all sorts of sexually transmitted infections in British Columbia and all over. Anyway, it took me a long time to realize that my call happened then. It happened when I was 7, and I wasn't wrong. And that God, who I was listening talk to me, was not wrong. There was something about that faith tradition that had steered so many people in the wrong direction. So it wasn't until I was 50 that I went back to seminary in my 50s. And after my 2 daughters graduated from school, college, I was on my own. I said, okay, I'm selling everything and I'm moving to Berkeley. And they said, well, wait, we're coming home now. I'm like, well, all right, find a home. Okay, I did my job. Not my job anymore. Okay. Anyway, what a journey I started. And I served for a year in Duluth. And then I served a few years in the beautiful congregation downtown, First Universalist Church of Rochester, where I met somebody extremely dynamic. This man came to me and said, I'd like to make an appointment with you. I'm like, okay. So he comes into my office and we sit down. I say, what's going on? He goes, well, I want to talk about a few things. And you know that smile that Verdis LeVar Robinson has? He said, I want to talk to you about spiritualism. I'm like, what? Okay. Well, I have that history too, but that's another story. But we share that. We share that understanding that the ancestors are near. The ancestors are always around. And when I was a Catholic girl in high school now, and the Franciscan nun in my senior year after Vatican II said, move over, girls, make room for your angels on the chair next to you, I said, what? And I marched down to the office and said, oh no, not after Teilhard de Chardin, and we're not having angels sit next to me, but guess what? The angels and the ancestors And all the people who taught us, who formed us, who believed in us, are here with us today. We do not come to this day, to this moment alone. We never did, never could, never will. And as we exit, we become the ancestors for others. So I listened to Verdis' story, and then he spoke to me of his own ancestry, of his journey and religious beliefs. And he told me that he wanted to become a Unitarian Universalist minister that day. And I said, okay, I've been waiting for this part of the story. So, opening words. Remember, what we open and enter into only gets closed if we turn away from it. This journey of ministry, that continued ministry that Reverend Robinson is embarking upon today as we ordain him into the UU ministry, is only cracking open the door a little bit more. So may this day be held in your hearts, in your spirits, in your souls. May you sing the joy of this day to everyone you meet, everyone you encounter, and tell this story. Tell the story to your children, to your people. And may this story be echoed throughout the land of the story of the ordination of Reverend LeVar Robinson. May it be so. And move over, folks. There's got to be lots of room. They're already here. They're waiting for a seat. They've been here. Come on, move over. Let's go. May it be so. May it be so. And so we enter into this holy service.
For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. Each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. Child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage, fathers of time, daughters of dust, sons of great vision. We are our grandfather's prayers. We are grandfather's dreaming. We are our grandfather's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. Child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. One child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We are one.
Good afternoon. Some more? Good afternoon. Thank you. I'm going to give you a minute to get out your credit card, your checkbook, your coin purse, or to go in the bank of your bosom, wherever you keep your money, right now, before I start to talk about the money. So please, just take 20 seconds and be ready, because we do want your money. And I have no shame in asking for your money, because money makes the world go around, the world go around, the world go around. Money makes the world go around, that tinkling, jingling sound. A buck, a yen, a Deutsche pound. It makes the world go around. Money, 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 money. So you should have your wallets warmed up now. I also want to remind you that you, in this day and age, can give electronically. Sherry has let me know there will be a sign or a symbol or something that comes up. You can take your little phone out if you don't have a coin purse, but you must get your money out shortly. Why do we take an offering? Because we can. Because together we can do more than we can do alone. Because money is simply a tool that we must gather together to change the world. Why do we take an offering? Say it back to me. Because we can. The donation shared today will be split evenly between two recipients: Black Lives of Unitarian Universalism, BLUU. Let's hear it for Blue. And Diverse and Revolutionary Unitarian Universalist Multicultural Ministries, or DRUM. Let's hear it for DRUM. I am the Reverend Carol Thomas Sissel. I serve our congregation in Arlington, Virginia, as the Minister of Social Justice and Community Development. My portfolio includes getting the money. I also serve as the second vice president of DRUM, with my brothers and sisters of color, with the BIPOC community at my side. DRUM is the oldest and largest Black, Indigenous, and people of color-led organization that thrives in our faith. We need DRUM. We need Blue to provide welcoming, healing, and sacred spaces, to honor, encourage, and strengthen loving communities of care, to step up, to resist hate, and to stand strongly side by side with love. Today, our gifts, your gifts, will be investing in the fabric of our faith, in the development of leadership, and in the future of a multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-generational Unitarian Universalism that all of us can believe in. I offer you the following words that were given to me by Reverend Joseph Santos Lyons, who's the current executive director of DRUM. Donations. Your donation says yes to living in a world that thrives from our diverse voices and that supports an organization that brings authenticity and humanity into spiritual being. Your giving will build the world we dream about and realize your values in the larger cosmos. Each one of us has a role to play in the future of this faith, Unitarian Universalism. Today, with Joseph's words, I ask that you dig deep, that you open your hearts and your wallets, and that you give what you can, not small, not simply, but with huge, wild, joyful abandonment. And that tomorrow you think about giving some more. I thank you in advance before any plates are passed or any coins are collected for your generosity, for supporting the ministry that is Unitarian Universalism, and more than anything else, for supporting my brother Verdis. I thank you.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. From the bottom of my heart to the depths of my soul. Yes, Lord. Completely yes. My soul says yes.
A reading from The Color Purple by Alice Walker. Listen, God loves everything you love and a mess of stuff you don't. But more than anything else, God loves admiration. You saying God vain? I asked. Nah, she say, not vain, just wanting to share a good thing. I think it pisses God off if you walk by the color purple in a field somewhere and don't notice it. What it do when it pissed off? I asked. Oh, it makes something else. People think pleasing God is all God care about. But any fool living in the world can see it always trying to please us back. Yeah, I say. Yeah, she say. It always making little surprises and springing them on us when us least expect. You mean it want to be loved, just like the Bible say. Yes, silly, she say. Everything want to be loved. Us sing and dance, make faces and give flower bouquets, trying to be loved. You ever notice that trees do everything to get attention we do, except walk?
Would I harbor you? Would you harbor me? Would I harbor you? Would you harbor a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, a heretic, convict, or spy? Would you harbor a runaway woman or child, a poet, a prophet, a king? Would you harbor a Haitian, Korean, or Czech, a person living with AIDS? Would you harbor a Tubman, a Garrett, a Truth, a fugitive, or a slave? Would you harbor a Haitian, Korean, or Czech, a lesbian, trans, bi, or gay? Would you harbor a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, a heretic, convict, or spy? Would you harbor a runaway woman or child, a poet, a prophet, a king? Would you harbor an exile or a refugee, a person living with AIDS? Would you harbor a Tubman, a Garrett, a Truth, a fugitive, or a slave? Would you harbor a Haitian, Korean, or Czech, a lesbian, trans, bi, or gay? Would you harbor me? Would I harbor you? Harbor me? Would I harbor you? Would I harbor you? Would I harbor you?
Thank you, musicians. Thank you, Beheld. Thank you, choir. We are a grandmother's prayers. Yes, we are. Lord, have mercy, mercy, we so are. I want to tell you a personal story, if I may, and I'm feeling Sally in my bones. We're having some resonance this afternoon. It's a personal story about the days between when I began seminary and the day that I got ordained. You see, while part of my extended family had been Unitarians and Unitarian Universalists for 7 generations, my biological family had long been a part of the Roman Catholic Church. And sometime in those days of my ministerial formation, I got on a flight to Panama to visit my family. I was used to being met at the airport like you do by my mother or my aunts. But that afternoon, as I exited the customs area, the only family member I could see was my grandmother. Of course, I was thrilled to see her. She was my grandmother. But at the same time, I began to worry. See, my grandmother didn't drive at all at that point in her life. Yep, I feel that you're understanding me. So for her to be the only person I recognized as I came into the main terminal meant that something serious was happening. Where were my mother or my aunts? I took a breath, I went up to my grandmother and I said, hello, Sophie, she said, just like that. Now please don't get any idea, she is the only person in my life who has ever been allowed to call me that. Don't call me Sophie. 2 words, just a greeting and my name, and then we were all the way in it. She started by telling me that her mother had felt a call to religious service, to enter a convent, and that her mother, so my great-great-grandmother, wouldn't let her go. There were too many injustices in that service, she felt, and so that call had to be answered in another way. Then the next generation came, and my grandmother, like her mother before her, felt a call to religious service, and she wanted to enter a convent. And her mother felt there were too many injustices in that service and wouldn't let her go. So her call had to be answered in other ways. And then another generation, my aunt, it turns out, felt a call to religious service and wanted to enter a convent. And my grandmother felt there were too many injustices in that service and wouldn't let her go. You can imagine where this is going? Now, don't ask me where my mother was in all of this. You will notice that my grandmother's doing double duty here. She asked me 3 questions about being a Unitarian Universalist minister. 3 questions about my freedom in answering this call. And I must have responded in a way that lived up to her expectations, because all of a sudden, a 4th question, are you happy? My soul said yes. And then she said the words that have stayed with me ever since. She said, God always wins in the end. Now, I would like to believe that for my family, what that means is that 4 generations of women each served in their own way. Right? My ancestors did not have to minister in roles like mine to meet their calling, to act justly, to love mercy, to move humbly with their God. And I know that today we are blessed by multiple generations of Verdis' family who have found their way to religious service. It is a beautiful thing. And beloveds, while we celebrate, I also need to share this difficult thing today, which is that ministry across the generations, it is not for the faint of heart. It's not. Now, please don't let that put you off your joy on this sacred day. Today is a miracle. I need to look at Verdis. Right? Today is a miracle we knew was coming. We had every faith we would get here. Right? I imagine that just about everyone in this sanctuary and online has had an early experience of the Reverend Verdis LeVar Robinson, like I had a meeting, right, where you left awash in the spirit and expecting some good news. Yeah, just me. There's no way it is just me. And to Verdis's family that is present, that is here in spirit or from the ancestral realm, let me thank you for nurturing this precious gift of God and being part of the journey that led us here to this day. We know our joy today. And ministry still, not for the faint of heart, not in these days, not in these times. Now, please, Unitarian Universalists among us, you know my heart is always with you. I hope you know that by now, and I'm sure you noticed that I did not offer you a laundry list of reasons why my family wrestled with questions of justice and service in a tradition outside of our own. Right? It is very easy to question institutions that we are not aligned with ourselves. We're not doing that today. But we do have so many reasons to be proud of how we call our ministers from among the people in this faith. Right? We should be proud to have ordained our first woman minister in 1863. Yeah. I'm proud that we ordained our first black male minister in 1889. We're going to have a pause here, okay? Proud to have ordained openly gay ministers, and I use that word carefully, intentionally, since 1979. We are proud to ordain disabled ministers, transgender ministers, queer ministers, atheist ministers, ministers from all kinds of families, races, classes, ethnicities, sexualities, embodiments, and backgrounds. Proud. Proud of who our congregations choose to bestow with the mantle of ordained ministry. Now, at the same time, beloveds, let us also be mindful that we do not always treat all of our ministers or all of our religious professionals equally, or sometimes even well. That we still have work to do to make amends for how we engage our disabled beloveds, our transgender beloveds, our Black, Indigenous people of color beloveds, our fat beloveds, our working class beloveds, our young and our aging beloveds, all of whom show up for us with their yes to this living tradition. Right? They show up with their laboring for our liberation, their yes to the goodness of all that calls them into this ministry. So it's time for us to wrestle, to talk about how God loves, yes, everything we love, and a mess of stuff that we don't, and how that mess is the very soul stuff of creation. It is life itself. And while today marks Verdis showing up with his full-throated yes to his ministry, we too are called to answer the teachings and the wisdom and the knowing of Unitarian Universalism itself. I know from talking with Verdis that such a depth of commitment, such a full-throated yes, is its own kind of healing. It is its own salvation. I know that we live into the promise of all that invites us to become more than we might have ever imagined in this lifetime, as a kind of surrender to what might yet be. And as individual and precious and even private as a call to ministry or a call to religious service might be, we do not only find ourselves met in that calling by the God of our understanding. We find that call strengthened and reflected back to us again and again in community, right? Each one of us engaging in today's sacred ritual serves as a living embodiment of the covenant that Verdis affirms and reaffirms today. There can be no ministry without the people, and no ministers or religious leaders without a community of communities, as Paula Cole-Jones reminds us, to encourage them on what is sometimes a wildly lonely path, one that requires us to dream beyond our own horizons to Seeley and Shug's fields of purple. I think Alice Walker is right that God, or the ultimate, or the greatest potential that we might have the possibility of brushing up against in this lifetime, that all of that puts a lot of energy into helping us notice and live into the beauty that is offered to us every day, even alongside the struggles of this world. I think God seduces us with lavender, heliotrope, violet, mulberry, plum, lilac, amethyst, and eggplant. Goodness, purple comes through the resplendence of creation. Have you noticed? I think it does piss God off if you walk through a field of purple and you don't notice. And while this particular journey is not my story to tell, I think it pisses God off when you pass by Verdis LeVar Robinson and you don't understand how profoundly he is called, that all by all that we hold holy. I'm grateful beyond measure that Verdis found part of his spiritual home here in a liberal and liberating tradition, and I am awed by the way he describes his journey with us as one that has never denied his freedom. I think of the blessed and dedicated ones who work and worked so hard for that to be possible in this faith. And I think of how much remains for us to do to make that blessing a reality for all who would serve. Beloveds, let us take seriously that the Reverend Verdis has invited Unitarian Universalism itself to answer its own call as he formally says yes to ministering in this faith. So what is Verdis, who is God-touched? I see you. Yeah. What is Verdis about to be freshly blessed, calling us to on this day? I am going to be bold and take a risk and listen to Verdis the way I listen to all musicians. Have you noticed that musicians preach to us through their labors? I know he'll correct me later if I'm wrong. So today we are called, beloveds, we are called to attend to the troubles of the world, to be guided in our actions by that rage that we heard about that fills our hearts at such injustices, and to resist turning away. We are called to hold fast to joy, to let ourselves be washed in the Spirit, and to carry that Spirit, whichever piece of wisdom and knowing is ours to bear throughout our time as we move through this life. To never let anyone convince us that we aren't worthy of such grace. We are called to believe in God, or to believe in whatever expression of our knowing holds us accountable, yes, to becoming the fullness of what we are meant to be, but also helps us along the way. We can be hard-headed. We don't do help very well as you use. We're called to hold fast to that intangible promise, even when it is far away or hard to find. We can believe in love or in the God of our understanding, even when our God is silent. Even in a time of war, when as many are saying God right now is found under the rubble with the people. We are called to build, beloved, community so that we might be the expression of our ancestors' greatest dreamings. We are called to say yes, a full-throated, goodness help me, I have no idea what I am doing, surrendered yes to a possibility and a promise that is greater than ours alone. We are called to love itself, or to love God by attending to the beauty and the grace that we might otherwise miss in our busyness, in our forgetfulness. We are called to a universalism that harbors all. And through all of this, I believe that Verdis is inviting us not only to allow for the possibility of the goodness that we teach and preach about in this tradition, but to expect the impossible, to live into what is intangible, to manifest the potential of this faith that we love, and when that potential comes fully into being, to celebrate the miracle that we always knew was coming. If only we would allow love to guide us on our way. I know Verdis as my beloved friend and colleague, who among a great many other things is called to help us stop, to re-engage, to even praise when we come upon the color purple in a field. And I know this because his ancestors did it before him, because his mother taught him about the majesty of purple and his father taught him about the profundity of ministry. I know it because of the unabashed radiance in his eyes and his abiding yes to his calling. Verdis, I honor and respect fiercely your journey. And to the extent that I am empowered to, I authorize, we don't do that a lot, I authorize, and furthermore, I will fight alongside you for your freedom, for our liberation, for the great goodness that will come from this service. Verdis, thank you for not turning away. Thank you for this day and so many others. Thank you. May your ministry and the ministry of those with whom you are privileged to serve be forever blessed. May it be so. May it be ever so. Amen. Ashe, and blessed be.
I call forward representatives from the Unitarian Church of Montpelier, First Universalist Church of Rochester, and First Unitarian Church of Rochester.
In our living Unitarian Universalist tradition, the authority to confer ordination lies wholly within each congregation. It is a profound moment of joy, a significant responsibility, and a unique privilege. When congregational communities come together to recognize one among us who has answered the call to ministry as their life's work, we are declaring and affirming on behalf of a wider faith.
Verdis LeVar Robinson. You have undergone the deep work of preparation for ministry and have allowed it to open your heart to the sacred possibilities of life. Having received the recommendation of the Ministerial Fellowship Committee of the Unitarian Universalist Association, and by the authority of these three congregations, it is our joy and our privilege to offer you ordination on this day. Verdis, are you prepared to take upon yourself the yoke of ministry formally and fully?
I am.
As the congregation where you found your home in Unitarian Universalism and received your call to serve in the ministry of our religious tradition, the members of the First Universalist Church of Rochester ordain you.
As the teaching congregation that supported you in your formation during a pandemic, helping you to grow into the minister you are today, the members of the Unitarian Church of Montpelier ordain you.
As the congregation in which you have begun your Unitarian Universalist ministry as the Minister for Growth, the members of the First Unitarian Church of Rochester ordain you.
Will the members of the ordaining congregations here and online please rise in body or spirit and join us in reciting the words displayed on the screen so that we may ordain Verdis. We, the members of the ordaining congregations, affirm your call and hereby ordain you, Verdis LeVar Robinson, to Universalist ministry. May you live and serve with courage, power, and joy. We promise to support you in all the ways that we can throughout your ministry.
Will the others assembled here and online please rise in body or spirit and affirm this ordination? Verdis, with joy and pride, we affirm your ordination and offer our blessings upon your ministry. As you go forth, may this call nourish you and be a source of hope, joy, inspiration, and love.
With deep gratitude, I accept the ministry to which you have ordained me. I promise to serve with love, compassion, authenticity, and kindness in service to our Unitarian Universalist faith. I know that all ministry is shared ministry, and that I cannot do this work alone. So I am so grateful for your love and support as I fulfill my call. With the strength of your affirmation and the clarity of my ministry, I will journey on with boundless enthusiasm and immense joy.
It is our honor to introduce the Reverend Verdis LeVar Robinson. Let the people say amen.
Well, all right, I see that you're not going away just yet, and it's because you, like me, think Reverend Verdis didn't come quite dressed to this occasion. I think there is something that you all plan to do about that.
Well, I am Bridget Watts, board president of the First Universalist Church of Rochester, New York. And dear Verdis, Reverend Verdis, what a joyful day this is. You know that we at First Universalists will always think of you as ours. We are grateful for the many gifts you shared with us over the years, and we have watched with pride as you followed your call. And please know that all of our pride and love will go with you in every day of your ministry. Our gift for you is this stole with a progressive rainbow, symbolizing our faith's commitment, our universalist commitment to creating ever-expanding circles of love. We hope you will wear it in joy.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Meredith Warner, and I'm here representing the Unitarian Church of Montpelier. I served on the board for 3 years during the same time that Verdis was with us, and really had the pleasure of ushering our congregation through 2 challenging pandemic years. And Verdis was there to bring us into our 3rd year while he was there as a staff person, helping us transition back into our beautiful sanctuary. The last time I had the pleasure of being led in worship by Verdis was a day that he invited the Montpelier Gospel Choir to be with us. And I know it seems like all this is just like how it should be, but if you've ever visited Vermont or New England, you will know this is not typically how it's done. It was a transformative service. We sang boldly, we clapped our hands, we danced, we cried, and we called out to one another and all that surrounds us. Our congregation has been wholly transformed by Verdis, by his creativity, by his absolute generosity, by his ambition for himself and for us as a faith community. He is embedded in us as a congregation, embedded in our history, and we are deeply grateful. On behalf of the Unitarian Church of Montpelier, we present you with this stole. We hope that you will feel held by it every time you put it on.
I'm Lynn Kinsman, president of the congregation here at First Unitarian Church of Rochester. On behalf of our entire church family, I welcome you to our midst as our minister of growth. I would like to present you with a stole as our gift. Oh, wait, you have one. Knowing the path to growth is rarely linear and usually full of curves. This stole depicts a river meandering through a wooded forest, traversing the 4 seasons of the year. We look forward to walking beside you along that river in these earliest years of your UU ministry. We expect to grow and be changed by your presence, just as you will be changed by the path. We wish you the closeness to nature and the cycles of the season as you journey forth.
My name is Emily Garrick, and I'm here representing the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Jamestown, New York. We are a very small congregation that has basically never in our history been able to support a full-time minister, and we've been almost entirely lay-led for at least 20 years. But one of the great blessings of the 2020s is that we have had the opportunity to invite UU ministers from all over to speak to us virtually, and the absolute gem of that time has been our time with Verdis. So members of our congregation pooled our resources to purchase this stole for you, Verdis. And we're so proud to have been part of your journey to the ministry.
My name is Amy Kavanaugh, and this is Jennifer Matthews. We are on the board of directors for the Montpelier Community Gospel Choir. Montpelier Community Gospel Choir has been so blessed to have Verdis as our director, as our executive director these past few seasons. Our long-term choir director retired, and we were so concerned we would not be able to find someone to take his place. Verdis not only filled this role with love, exuberance, and passion, his ministry to our choir has brought out the best in all of us. Thank you, Verdis, for lifting our hearts and souls with hope. We present this stole to you in gratitude for living in love and offer our many blessings.
Does it feel heavy yet? Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you. Just making sure we're all still here. My name is Reverend Michael Slack. I'm the Community Minister for Worship and Spiritual Care for Black Lives of Unitarian Universalism. Can everyone hear me with my mask on? Wonderful. We're going to lay hands on Verdis today. We lay hands on folks for many, many reasons, and have done so for so long, over many generations, across time, across faiths. We lay hands when folks are in need of a healing. We lay hands to impart blessings. We lay hands to remember that there were many who were here before us, who helped us all along the way. We lay hands as a reminder of what we have said yes to. We lay hands to help us remember that we will never be alone, ever again. And so I want to invite us to do that this afternoon. And finally, more than anything else, I believe laying on of hands is a prayer. It is a prayer for hope, for joy, for all that is meant to be in this life and beyond it. And so what I want to do is, I'm not going to make you stand. I'm going to give you a chair. Is that okay? Because you look heavy. It looks heavy enough as it is. Let me just sit it. Yeah. Let's sit it right here. Can we sit it down on the floor? Is that all right? There we are. Have a seat, my friend. So what I would love for us to do is to invite Verdis's family, those who are here as Verdis's family, to join us here first and to just surround Verdis. Thank you, sir. Yes. Yes, indeed. And then I would love for those of us who are religious professionals in the room to come and surround Verdis, lay a hand on Verdis and those around him. Come. I'm going to do something a little unorthodox now. Singers, come on. Come on. Come around. Do whatever you need to do. And feel free to come around this way. Come all the way around. All the way around. And you may not necessarily get to touch Verdis, but if you are touching somebody who's touching Verdis, it counts. All right? Now, folks from this community, these congregations, I want to invite you to also join us in this connection. Feel free to come as you feel led, as you are able to touch somebody on the shoulder or to raise a hand. Whatever you feel called to do, however you feel is best for you to make that connection, I invite you to do it now. Take your time and make sure, for those of us who are still in our seats, make sure that they are not alone, all right? Make sure that they are able to connect to this great circle. I see y'all up there in the balcony. Thank you. Thank you. I know there are folks online. Thank you. Thank you. As I said,
This is a prayerful moment. This is a moment of deep connection and love and care. And so I invite all of us to please join me in the spirit of prayer. In the name of all that is holy, we say thank you. We say thank you. We say thank you. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for every single moment that has led us to this moment. We give thanks, great and wonderful Spirit, for family, for friends, for colleagues, for song, for all of the ways that song has weaved in and out of our lives and brought us together. Thank you for Verdis's yes. And thank you for ours. Because by connecting in this moment, what we have done is said that we agree with you. We believe you. We are here to hold you and care for you, look out for you, because we know there will be folks who won't. And so by this deep connection, we say yes to you, Verdis. In this moment, Great Spirit, I pray that you would surround Verdis. Surround Verdis with this love and this care. Surround Verdis with this song. Surround Verdis with this knowing and this understanding that this call is real, that no one and nothing can take it from him. Remind him at every turn who he is and whose he is. Remind him at every turn of all of the ancestors that have come before to lay a pathway for this moment and every moment that happens beyond it. Care for him in ministry and help him remember how to care well for himself. Keep him well nourished in ministry and in life. Surround him with people who care and love him beyond all possibility. And as we leave this place, help us hold on to this yes. Help us hold on to this yes. Both for Verdis and ourselves, that we may remember what this is all about. That we won't be impacted by the things that keep us from our deepest faith. Hold us in a world that does not hold us well sometimes. And hold Verdis. Give us all that we need to support and care for this ministry. We lift up and pray all of these things in all of your many names, Great Spirit, and in no name. We say amen and ashe, and blessed be. Bless you, my love. Let's do this thing, yo.
Yeah.
Talk about anticlimaxes. But these words must be spoken, Verdis. You and I have known each other for a number of years. I can recall a time when I talked with you about Unitarian Universalist ministry. Would you be interested? And indeed you were. I recall you took a group of us to your community here in Rochester and told us its history. And I remember your seminar you gave us virtually in the good old COVID days to teach us about structural racism and white privilege. And here we are. It's been a long journey, and a hard journey, I think, for you in some cases. You've been a busy guy. I read your email posts. I know you're busy. You have preached and taught and learned and directed and cared for people for, lo, these many, many months. And so here you are. I do have one little story, however, Verdis. A story about we clergy keeping our humility about us. It seems that in a church, which I shall not name, there was a minister, and the minister-congregational exchange went something like this. The minister would say, "The Lord be with you," and the well-trained congregation would say, "And with you also." One day, the minister was having technology trouble, and he said, "There's something wrong with the mic," to which the well-trained congregation said, "And with you also." We are all more human than otherwise. And so, Verdis, as you begin your ministry at First Unitarian Church, it is my task and my privilege to bring the greetings of the St. Lawrence District ministers and the Unitarian Universalist Ministers Association, your new colleagues. Ministry, I heard from Bob Kimball. Some of you are Star Kingers. Bob Kimball once said, "The most important thing about ministry is being there." And so, Verdis, we pledge to be there for you in love and justice, sharing in your joys as well as your sorrows. However, this is my last word, is that there are probably a few Buffalo Bills fans in the congregation today. Well, I'll leave you with a sports metaphor. I don't know if you're a fan, Verdis, but now you are. Pundits, the announcers, say to players who have given their all on the gridiron, they left it all on the field. Translation for you non-sports fans, they have given it their very best. And so, Verdis, I implore you to lay it on the field, the pitch, the ice rink, the volleyball court, and the congregation. Verdis, Godspeed.
You seem so far away. Maybe a little closer? Yeah, that's good. So I want to start this charge to the minister with a story. This was unplanned, but I'm just so inspired by the wonderful stories that have been shared this afternoon. And it's a short story about how Verdis, now the Reverend Verdis, came to the Unitarian Church of Montpelier. And in early 2020, maybe January or so, Verdis responded to our notice that we were looking for a ministerial intern. And we spoke virtually because Verdis was down in Boston at the time, I believe. So we had an initial meeting, and Verdis met with me, I think just one-on-one, and seemed very interested in our internship. And I said, "I think you really ought to come up here. Before you say yes, You need to come and meet us and be in this place. And Verdis said yes to that. He came up on a bus. There was like one bus a week from Boston to Montpelier, Vermont. He figured out which one it was. And the Sunday that he came up to Montpelier was March 8th, 2020. Verdis came up March 8th, 2020. It was our stewardship launch day. And Verdis came, and he, was he didn't say anything to anyone about why he was there or who he was, though people were very curious, of course. And afterwards, we had a chance to talk about how his visit was. And I think this is very telling about Verdis's ministry. Verdis said, yeah, I do want to say yes. And I was, really? And he said, I could feel this spirit. I could feel the spirit, and I want to be in community with you. So here's the part that I had planned. In a recent worship planning meeting back in Montpelier, one of our church members reminded those of us who were gathered in this meeting of the power of the number 3. I agree, 3 is a powerful number. And so my charge comes to you in 3 parts. Verdis, you have already been and will continue to be asked to serve in many ways. You will be asked by Unitarian Universalist colleagues and congregants. You will be asked by members of the greater Rochester community because of who you are, your position, your skills, and your gifts. You will be looked to as someone to ask to take on more roles, more leadership. The demands of ministry are great and unceasing. So first, I charge you, Verdis, to guard this space for spiritual care and discernment. That space to really hear and feel the Spirit. Dedicate the time for listening to your own soul's desires. With all that you take on and so acrobatically juggle, leave room to notice what makes you come alive, what makes you happy. Allow yourself the space to tend to those creature comforts that allow you to come home to your body and to your soul. Clean your cleaning frenzies that you like to go on in your house. Cuddling with Prince Ali and Prince Caspian, his feline friends, for those who don't know. So much of ministry asks us to expend our energies outside ourselves. And it is from that sacred space within that you will continue to flourish as a minister. So guard that space. Second, in your time with us at the Unitarian Church of Montpelier, you experimented with truly being yourself as a minister, allowing parts of your spirituality and expression of ministry to emerge that you weren't sure could be or would be accepted in UU spaces. You bring to Unitarian Universalism a great gift in refusing the tidy boxes of musician or minister, academic or community practitioner, of gray hymnal or teal hymnal, of folk or gospel, of manuscript preaching or extemporaneous preaching, of calling out or calling in. So my second part of my charge to you is to continue to transgress these boundaries and borders. Continue to refuse the binaries that separate us from each other and ourselves. Believe that your dream for Unitarian Universalism, as a faith in which we let go of intellectually driven worship elitism and allow ourselves to be fully embodied, is possible. And Verdis, believe that you, with your gifts, can help make it so. By being who you are, you bring a multiplicity of identities into your ministry and into our faith, and we are all better for it. So allow yourself this freedom. And finally, though ministry can be a lonely vocation, remember that you are not asked to do ministry alone. And I love that that has already been brought into this ordination service. And in fact, it is impossible to do ministry alone. And when it is attempted, it leads to harmful ends. So do not feel that you need to be alone in ministry. Continue to draw upon the strength and the wisdom of your ancestors who are cheering you on today, as well as from the strength and wisdom of your peers. And remember that the interdependent reality of ministry goes both ways. You have colleagues who have your back and can save you in moments of doubt and despair. And your encouragement and support has been salvific to others. So continue to nurture these relationships with colleagues, continue to be willing to receive support and to offer it. Take joy in the friendships that will emerge from this mutual and life-giving collegial support. Verdis, you are already ministering in so many ways that inspire and uplift, and I am just so thrilled to continue to learn from you and to share in this ministry with you, my dear, dear colleague.
Hey, how's it going? Doing all right? You're hanging in there? Well, dear ones, I kind of want to know who is here in the room. I've been called here to charge our congregations, but who are you? And where are you? Who is here from the Unitarian Church of Montpelier, Vermont? Who is here? Yes, you are here. Who is here from the First Universalist Church of Rochester? First Universalist is in the house. And who's here from First Unitarian Rochester? It is a joy to be with you all today. It is out of these communities that this minister is formed and shaped. And in this tradition, the people we serve and the communities we collaborate with are the ones with the power and the capacity to say, we see you, we ordain you, we know you to be minister. To the Unitarian Church of Montpelier, I offer deep gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for the task of taking up an intern. Thank you for inviting specifically Reverend Verdis to be your intern. Thank you for being a place where the Spirit could be felt. Thank you for making that space. I know you have been transformed by this experience. I know you will never be the same. And each relationship with a minister has the capacity to shift a congregation. But I know that this relationship is unique and special. And I know that Verdis will be with you in your congregation for years to come. Thank you for your work. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your love and encouragement and the challenge that you have brought to this task. Thank you. I am fortunate to be just one of a strong team of collaborative ministers serving our two congregations in Rochester, New York. My ministry resides with the First Universalist Church, the church where Verdis was first introduced to Unitarian Universalism, and I have a deep love and fondness for this church, for First Unitarian, where Verdis is now serving and will be serving in the time to come. So, to both of our congregations, these are my words spoken in love to you. We really have something here. I have been telling people across our denomination that Rochester is one of the best places to be in Unitarian Universalist ministry right now. Don't make a liar out of me. The collaborations we undertake in the days and weeks and months ahead have the capacity to build Unitarian Universalism's impact, and Verdis's ministry is a huge part of that. Let's keep collaborating. Yes. Beginnings of ministry can be tender. First Unitarian, I specifically invite you to remember this. To remember that Verdis is first and foremost a human being with gifts and strengths as well as limitations and challenges. Open your ears to what he has to offer. Check your privilege for those of us who are white in what you will and will not listen to. Remember that this ministry comes from a love of this faith and a desire to reach communities that are different from who you already are. You are choosing to grow in new ways. Be open to the change that this will inevitably bring. Ministry is best when it is shared and collaborative. Remember to share the ministry and avoid believing that one figure is coming to transform you without you yourselves being transformed. I will say it again. Remember to share the ministry and avoid believing that one figure is coming to transform you without you yourselves being transformed. This ministry is not about just one person or even one congregation. It is about the larger love we are called to and that calls us forward. It is about your yes as much as it is about Verdis's yes. A special note in love to my beloveds at First Universalist. We have to recognize today that our relationship with Reverend Verdis needs to change. Reverend Verdis is now a minister here in Rochester. And I can tell you from experience that when you serve one congregation, you low-key serve them all. So today is a day both of yes and a little bit of a bittersweet loss for us. For though we would like to believe that Verdis is ours, which I want to invite us to really challenge what lies underneath that a bit, we have to remember that Verdis is a minister here in this space, preaching love, speaking from love, being love, which is your call to be open, to be transformed, your call to be open, to be changed. May you know that you are loved, and may you take that love seriously. And may you be open to the changes that this ministry will bring. Amen. Amen.
Now, roll with the changes, the punches. Now, it has been said, and I am going to say it again, it has been a long time coming. And it may have even, for some of you, been a long afternoon. But this would not be an ordination for Reverend Verdis if we did not close in joyous song. So I am inviting you to rise in body and spirit and sing
the hard night. And we've been here for about 2 hours, so I will not belabor the time and give you a benediction in the style of my old faith. And we used to sing that, may God be with you. May God be with you until we meet again. But we're going to sing, may love be with you. May love be with you until we meet again. So, may love be with you. May love be with you. May love be with you until we meet again. Oh, may God be with you. May God be with you. May love, may love be with you until we meet again. May love be with you. I love you. Go in peace, go in joy, go in love. I thank you.